Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be revisiting a band I checked out about a year ago. They're a Finnish cinematic metal band by the name of Dark Sarah. Now, like I said, about a year ago I checked out a track of theirs called Dancing with the Dragon. I think it was called Dance with the Dragon, Dancing with the Dragon, can't remember. And it had guest vocalist JP Lapoluoto. I can't remember what his name was, but he was the former lead singer with the band Karen. Now, they've been working some time on coming up with a new album. There's been a lot of crowdfunding about it, and about a week ago they released a new track called All Ears, and that's what we're going to look at today. Now, when I checked out Dancing with the Dragon, or I'm sure that's what it was called. When I checked out that track, I really liked them. They sounded really good. They had this great, big, epic sound. And as far as I remember, the album itself was based around this character called Sarah. So I'm imagining it's probably the same thing going forward with this album as well. I expect it's probably another concept album which tells a story over time. So it might be difficult to glean any meaning from the song itself, but I do have lyrics up here. I'm not sure how accurate these are going to be. I'm not sure whether they're the official lyrics or if they're a fan-submitted set, but they seem to compare to every other set of lyrics I've found, but I've not found anything directly officially from Dark Sarah, so I don't know whether they're going to be completely accurate. But anyway, I'm waffling now. So we're going to jump to the song and see what we get. So, All Ears by Dark Sarah. Let's have a look, see what we get.
Of the shadows
And there we go. That was All Ears by Dark Sarah. And again, another great piece of music. Had a very sort of Nightwish feel to the actual sound of it overall. And it didn't quite feel as epic as I remembered Dancing with the Dragon being. But, you know. But, yeah. Very, very good piece of music. And I have a feeling the song might be something to do with going mad. You know, madness or going mad in itself. And the imagery of the sort of rabbit-masked people sort of goes along with the all ears sort of part of the song. But I get the impression it's possibly to do with madness or going mad. I could be entirely wrong here. Like I said, from what I understand, most of their albums are concept albums, so I might be completely missing what this song's about because I haven't got the, you know, the story of the album to go by. You know, I don't know what precedes it and what have you. But anyway, we'll do what we can with what we've got. Now, the song itself opens, "The forces of the shadows call me to step inside. Believer of the darkness, it's time. Now all ears. Welcome, this asylum is for you. When you're feeling blue, welcome into this cult of dreams. Now all ears." So those very first lines sort of possibly give you a hint of it talking about madness or even possibly depression. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, there's the forces of the shadows call me to step inside. So forces of the shadows, you know, that could possibly be referring to depression itself, you know, being in a sort of dark mood, dark state of mind. It could also be evil, you know, an evil that is speaking to you, you know, calling you to, you know, forces of the shadows call me to step inside. You know, is it an evil presence in mind that's calling you to, you know, follow them and do their bidding, you know, maybe act against your regular behavioural patterns. And then there's that line, "Welcome, this asylum is for you." Now that could be talking about a mental asylum possibly, you know, in sort of, you know, going along with the whole madness idea, or, you know, is it just a reference to this is your asylum, you know, you're safe here in this sort of place. But it says, well, this asylum is for you when you're feeling blue. So it could be an imaginary place, you know, sort of a happy place, as it were. So if, you know, if you're going crazy, you sort of go into your happy place and you're all fine and good, you know, sort of, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. You know, sort of ignorance to the world around you. You've gone to your happy place and sort of possibly paranoid delusions and stuff like that, where everything's fine and, you know, you can do whatever you want. I'm not sure. Then it goes to the chorus. "Call me a dreamer, these dreams will come true. Just wait and see, and the fortune falls for you. One for the darkness, magic and monsters. If they're real or not, we don't care, 'cause they just work." Now again, "Call me a dreamer, these dreams will come true. Just wait and see, and the fortune falls to you. One for the darkness, magic and monsters." You know, that could be talking about, that could be a hint at like personal demons, again going along with the madness theme that I first initially came to. It says if they're real or not, we don't care, because they just work. You know, it's like these demons, these monsters, these voices in your head. You know, whether they're real or not, it doesn't matter, because they are affecting your actions. They're altering your behaviour. They're making you do things that are possibly out of character, and that could be what that's suggesting. I don't know. Like I said, this is just purely guesswork on my part, because, you know, yeah, I could be completely wrong, but that's the sort of hint I'm sort of getting from it. And it carries on. "Welcome, join the coven. It's time to step in line. Show us all your powers inside. Now all ears." And then back into that chorus. "Call me a dreamer. These dreams will come true. Just wait and see, and the fortune falls to you. One for the darkness, magic and monsters. If they're real or not, we don't care, 'cause they just work." If there's a rage in you, you don't know what to to do with. Just join the cult of dreams and wait and see. You'll be released. And then it goes March, 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 etc. So, again, join the cult of dreams and wait and see. Again, that could be referring to, like, delusions from, you know, psychosis or what have you. Again, possibly going into that theme of madness. There is no entry to Devil's Peak. I am your nightmare and you shall scream. One for the night, one for the light, yeah. One for the fight, for saving the might of mind. Now again, there's no entry to Devil's Peak, I am your nightmare, and you all shall scream. That was actually the male harsh vocals there. There was very, very few of them in this. In fact, that was the extent of the male harsh vocals in the song. I am your nightmare and you shall scream. So again, that could possibly be referring to madness, you know, like all the voices in your head possibly, you know, making you go crazy and eventually getting too much to bear. You just lose your mind and sort of scream. Again, pure guesswork on my part. One for the night, one for the light, yeah, one for the fight, for saving might of mind. So is that possibly suggesting, you know, mentally fighting back against all this madness, you know, trying to come to the realization that you are losing the plot maybe, and, you know, making a concerted effort to try and push it aside and realize that it is all false, you know, that it's not real, that, you know, the realization that you are going mad and going, oh, I need to do something about this. Possibly? I don't know. Then it goes, you've come to this far in the story, so you must know that life is so dull without stories that are told. Now, one for the darkness, magic and monsters, if they're not real, we don't care, because they just work. So there's a slight variation on the chorus right at the end of the song there. So it's like, you've come this far in the story, so you must know that life is so dull without stories that are told. So it's like, you know, you've come this far in life, so you must realise, you know, all of these sort of stories, all of these things that happen to us are what make our life interesting. That's what it seems to be suggesting, you know. If none of these sorts of things happen to you, your life would be incredibly dull. You'd just be sort of more existing than living, because nothing interesting or exciting will have happened to you. You know, so maybe it's like this... Oh, excuse me. So maybe it's like, you know, this turn of madness, this turn of insanity, you know, is just part of your story, but you will carry on through it. I don't know. I really couldn't say. Like I said, it's all entirely guesswork on my behalf, but that's, for the most part, it seems to be talking about, you know, a madness or something kind of state of mind. But, you know, I liked the song. It was really, really good. So it didn't, like I said, it didn't feel as grand and epic as I remember it did when I listened to Dancing with the Dragons, but then that was about a year ago that I actually did that track, and I've actually been waiting for something new from them for quite a while. And when I saw this, I thought, you know, I'm going to have to check it out. And I wasn't disappointed. It was a very good piece of music. Like I said, it had a very strong sort of Nightwish sort of sound to it, which I think I might have said in the other video as well. But there we go. I really like that. All Ears by Dark Sarah. Their album, the new album Grim, I'm not entirely sure when it's coming out, but I will put a link below to where you can pre-order it, should you be interested in doing so. But yeah, I can't think of much else to say on that at the moment, so I will leave that as it is. Now, if anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel, which would be a great help to me, help me improve the quality of these videos. There is also an option on Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There are a couple of limitations that go along with that, just to be fair to other people who suggest songs through regular means. You know, there's a limitation on how frequently you can make those suggestions to be jumped to the front of the queue, but the option is there. If you do suggest tracks through regular means, like through Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube comments, do know it might take me a while to get around to your suggestions, since I do get suggested so many new tracks every single day that my list grows faster than I can record the videos, but I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It just might take me a while to get to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, specifically those aimed towards people of the alternative culture, and it's something that I believe in very, very strongly, something I think really needs a lot more attention than what it gets, and when I say that, I mean a lot more attention, because it gets no attention. It doesn't get nearly enough attention, you know, because every day around the world, people of the alternative community are getting violently attacked just purely for the fact that they are part of the alternative community. People are getting violently attacked because they listen to alternative music and wear alternative fashion, and nothing ever gets said about the fact that it's happening. You know, and I'm not just talking about insults spat from afar or like being shoulder rammed as they're walking down the street. I'm talking about real violent crimes, like people getting brutally attacked, violently beaten, sometimes hospitalised with broken bones, and sometimes even more life-threatening injuries. And these sorts of things happen all the time, but we never hear anything about it. The last time there was any widespread coverage of this sort of thing happening was around about 13 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people, and they were beaten so severely that they both ended up in comas. I mean, they were both beaten to the ground and they had their heads stamped on so violently that they both ended up in comas, just purely for the fact that they listened to alternative music. That was it. You know, just because they were dressed as goths, that's the reason they were beaten, right? And like I said, they both ended up in comas. Now, Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He was in a coma for around about a week, maybe a bit longer. I can't remember exactly how long, but he survived. Sophie Lancaster, on the other hand, was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries, and she died. This girl was beaten to death. She was brutally murdered just because of her taste in music and clothing. You know, and like I said, that happened 13 years ago. And we've not heard a single thing similar since, but I can guarantee you that attacks of a similar nature have happened since then. We've just not heard anything about it, because no one's died. And that is unacceptable. That should not be the case. We shouldn't have to wait for someone to lose their life before this sort of thing gets spoken about. You know, every single day, especially at this precise moment, we're hearing a lot of things about other hate crimes like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, etc. We're hearing a lot of this at the moment, specifically racism, you know, where this guy was like killed by police officers, you know. We hear about these sorts of things all the time. And, you know, that's fair enough. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But when we're not hearing about brutality against people of the alternative community, where's the difference here? You know, I mean, obviously there is a fair difference, but nevertheless, you know, racism is a very, very bad thing. People are attacking people of colour just because of the colour of their skin. They're mistreating them because of the colour of their skin. You know, the same thing happens with a religion. People are getting attacked because of their religious beliefs. People of, you know, transgender people, etc., are getting attacked and violently beaten because of their sexual preference or their sexual identity. You know, people are getting violently attacked for that, and we hear about these all the time. So why aren't we hearing anything about these people that are being violently attacked for something as stupid and simple as the fact that they listen to different music? You know, there's no reason why it should be excluded, why it should not be spoken about, and it's something that needs to change, because this is a very real problem. Hundreds and thousands of people are getting severely hurt over something so trivial, and it needs to change. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, that this is a real problem. Because they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks. No one should lose their life over something as petty as a difference of opinion in music. You know, we cannot allow what happened to Sophie Lancaster to ever happen again. It's something that never should have happened in the first place. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is working towards. They want to stop this from ever happening again. And it needs more recognition. More people need to talk about it. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, obviously don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, whether it's a small donation through their website or something like one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, you know, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Call me a dreamer, these dreams will come true.